Greetings everyone, welcome to Chess Advance. This game was played in the FIDE Swiss 2025, and with the white pieces we have our speed demon Nihal Sarin, and with the black pieces we have Parham Maghsoodloo. Both amazing players and really eyeing that spot of the candidates, and I mean this could be really spectacular. And this game you're absolutely going to enjoy. They are playing so much engine like that, I cannot even try to deviate from the lines to show any different variations. This is just so insane. Nihal starts with d4, we have d5, c4 and c6. We are in the Slav defense. Knight to c3, knight to f6, and he transposes it into the basically trades in the center. C captures, and bishop to f4. This is the exchange variation. Knight to c6, e3, and bishop to f5. Knight to f3, e6, and queen to b3. Bishop to b4, knight to e5. Now just getting that knight very nicely centralized. Queen to b6, and just f3 now. f3 is a very nice inclusion that he has he has conjured here. Castles. Knight captures, b captures, king to f2, and now just going for this knight to d7. Knight to a4 now, queen to a5, and in this position you choose to go for a move very aggressive here, g4, and here after bishop to g6 now you play with h4, but after h6 the position is absolutely fine. You cannot push g4 g5 directly, you have to maybe just prepare it, but still I mean a very nice position for Nihal, and definitely with the white pieces he would be actually looking to beat Parham here, and Parham has been unbeaten in this tournament, but Nihal would definitely try. Here queen to a5 was played, but now just bishop to c7, not going for any of the craziness. If you this is basically deviation tactic. If you capture here, then I'll capture here. So queen caps on c7 was played, but queen caps on b4. We have e5, rook to c1, and just rook f to e8. Bishop to e2 now, just developing pieces. Rook to e6, d captures, rook a to e8, and queen to f4. So looks very nice. He's trying to just get the queen here, first attacking the bishop with a tempo, and definitely just moving the queen towards the queen side. So he must have it in his ideas that he wants to actually push those g4 h4 ideas and attack towards the king side. But here just bishop to g6 was played, rook h to e1, and just knight caps on e5. So he's just waiting and seeing what he could do in this position. Knight to c5, a brilliant move because now you're attacking the rook, so here there are no discoveries on that would be there on the e3 pawn, and king could become a little bit weak. But here just rook to e7, knight to c3, and just h5, rook to d4 now, a5, and here just a4. We're stopping the pushing of those that pawn, and queen to a7 now, just finally h3, just queen to b6, rook to d2, and queen to a7. For now, I mean the position looks absolutely fine. Even I'm just going through the moves and I'm just showing it to you what they are intended for and nothing else. But now starts the craziness here, just queen to d4, centralizing the queen, also maybe asking for a queen trade. And Nihal, if you count the number of pawns here in this position, it's equal pawns, but you have to understand about pawn islands, and here Nihal has 2 pawn islands while Parham has 3 pawn islands, and that's definitely, if you're able to get a better position, you would want to push in this position. Rook to b8 was played, but now just comes this knight to e6, a very nice move, asking for a queen trade. And here in this position, if you trade, then white gets the advantage here. Knight captures, rook b to e8, and after knight caps on c6 you cannot defend here. Knight captures, rook caps on e3, but you have to understand this pawn is falling as well somewhere along the line, and I could just play a move like rook to c4, just target both of those pawns, and there is not much defense you have. You cannot even capture here, and you cannot even get inside my position, and I have a very nice position and you cannot do anything about it. But here after knight to e6, queen to b7 was played, avoiding the trade, and now knight to f4, now just very nicely remaneuvering the knight from there to here, and now that comes with an attack towards the bishop. So very nice move by Nihal. Here rook b to e8, but here just queen to c5. Queen to c5 would have been very nice in this position. That's what I'm trying to say, because it targets this pawn, it puts some pressure on this pawn. Once the knight moves, you'll be able to get a very nice position. Queen to b8, if you play, now just comes queen caps on a5, and what do you have in this position? There is a very crazy line, like very crazy line that one could go for, which is this h4. H4 is a very nice line, just threatening that, saying that I'm just going to move the bishop away, I'm going to push g5 in this position, just dislodge your knight from there, and then we'll see how can I get the queen into the game, and somewhere along the line I'm going to be starting a devastating attack towards your king. And yeah, it's a long shot, but still a very nice attempt, like just moving the bishop away, putting that very nice g5 thrust there in the position. But the thing is that rook b to e8, b3 was played, and it's only move 30, and both pairs are like down to 2 minutes on the clock, so you have to understand that they need to make 10 moves to reach time control, so there will be a lot of blunders here. But this is not a blunder, this is the second best move in this position. First was the queen to c5, but now just comes h4, and Parham is ready for some action here. Queen to c5, but just queen to b8. Now he plays queen to c5, and same move order as well. Queen caps on a5, we have knight to d7. So they are finding the best moves in the position, but actually the second time, not the first time. But knight to d7 is not a good move in this position, simply because it hangs a very nice pawn here in this position, and even though Nihal was just down to 30 seconds on the clock, he goes for rook captures on c6. And it's so complicated. How do you even do anything in this position? Here rook caps on e3 was played, and you can understand here there is an attack towards the knight now because that pawn has been captured. So what do you do in this position? The problem is that you have a very beautiful move in this position. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video and try and find out the only winning move for Nihal, which crushes Parham right on the spot. So have at it. So congratulations to everyone who's able to find this move. It's not knight caps on g6. It's actually rook to c7. Rook to c7 is a brilliant move, saying that, I'm cutting off your attack towards my knight, so my knight can remain there, and you have nothing in this position. What can you do? If you go for knight to b6, trying to cut off the defense towards the rook, the problem is I get queen to a7, and after queen captures, rook captures, now you have to trade because, then your knight would be hanging. So here in this position, I'm really better because you have no compensation. Next, I'm going to be capturing that. I'm going to be pushing those pawns. You have no compensation, and I'm up so many pawns here. There's nothing you could do. And if you want to survive here after rook to c7, you maybe play knight to f6, but knight to f6 is not a good move because I can just capture here, and it still would be very fine with these two connected pass pawns. So your giving away of that pawn was absolutely for nothing here, and that's what I'm saying. Your rook caps on e3 was played, but after this knight caps on g6, I mean, you're in time trouble. You're not going to make accurate moves here. 34th, this is the 34th move here. Queen to g3 check, king to f1, and knight to f6. Knight to f6 is a crazy move by Parham. Crazy move here. Less than a minute on the clock, and he finds this move, saying that, that knight is either way that knight is trapped. He cannot go anywhere. I'm most likely going to capture it later, but first I can get my knight into the attack, and my knight is going to be absolutely amazing. Once it jumps here, I'm most likely just going to let the knight jump, and I'm going to have a fantastic position. Here, just rook caps on f6. Sacrificing the exchange here in this position is such a beautiful move, and he found it with 30 seconds on his clock. Nihal Sarin, absolute beast here. G captures was played, but what do you even play in this position? It looks like your knight cannot move, and you have 30 seconds on the clock. You have to calculate so much in this position, and in this position Nihal still finds the right move. He goes for knight captures on h4, and knight caps on h4 is such a beautiful move in this position, and you could actually capture it. Queen caps on h4, and the problem is queen caps on d5, and I just have the exchange in this position, but just look at the amount of pawns. This is basically one pawn, and these two pawns are going to be pushing, and yes, it looks very scary because you're eyeing that square where you might get checkmated. So rook to c3, trying to go for that, but after a5 here, rook to c1 check, rook to d1, rook captures, now queen captures, and I'm defending everything. I'm going to be pushing those pawns. I'm going to be defending it. If I'm able to get the queen trade in, your position is absolutely crumbling. So here after knight caps on h4, he tries to go, and he could go for a draw here right away. Just before this move, in this position, there was some rook sacrifice, and then after this you can go for a perpetual in this position. That was absolutely fine. Not here, but just a few moves back. But instead he chooses to go for this line, and there is a chance now you might get outplayed, because in this position he made a very nasty blunder, because he was so much down on the clock here, Parham, and trying to push for win and trying to calculate all these insane ideas, but that in this position he goes for the rook captures on b3, and that completely blunders the game, because he thought that after giving this check, rook will block, but after rook captures, bishop captures in this position, there will be a checkmate. But unfortunately queen is guarding that, and he missed it, and here knight to f5 was played. He was able to get the piece out of there. Now there are two pieces for the rook and all of these crazy pawns, and how are you going to stop them all? Queen to f4 was played by Parham, but now just comes this queen captures on d5, and what do you do in this position? There is no checkmate. I'm defending the rook, I'm defending the knight. What are you doing in this position? Rook to b1 check was played, but now a simple king to f2. And yes, you can get inside the position with now very nicely with a queen to h2 and maybe get some checks in, but that checks aren't harming me. I can just get inside the position of your king, and it's going to be very difficult to go from there. Here rook to e5 was tried by Parham, but now just comes this very nice queen to d8 check, and what do you do here? King to h7 was played, but there is a very amazing line in this position, a very nice mating sequence which starts with queen to f8, and what do you do in this position? If you play a silly move like rook caps on f5, your position, you're just absolutely getting mated here. Queen caps on f7 with the check, king to h6, and a rook to d8. Now there is no saving you in this position. Whatever you do in this position, there are no checks even in this position. You could give one check, but after that your position just completely collapses, and you have to start giving up material. Now so here after king to h7, we have queen captures on f6 by Nihal, and it was on this move right after just getting some time on the clock here. Parham, he just moved 42, he resigned the game, and Nihal Sarin on board one got this spectacular victory against Parham Maghsoodloo, who is an absolute top form, and this is just spectacular stuff. Now he's going to be actually leading the tournament with Matthias Bluba. Matthias played a spectacular games against Arjun Gisi as well. I'll be showing that game as well. And yeah, this is just absolutely amazing stuff by Nihal now has a chance to get to the candidates. Can you believe that? He was just eyeing a few tournaments ago, he was just eyeing trying to reach 2700, and now he has a chance to get a spot in the candidates. That's absolutely spectacular. Really brilliant play by Nihal. I mean, just huge respect to him. These genius prodigies are pushing every game for a win. They want to win, they want to crush everyone, they don't care. And Nihal definitely wants a spot, and I think he's gonna get it. He might just get a spot to the candidates, and maybe even then just have amazing preparation there as well. So he must be really proud of himself. I mean, we are really proud of him. Spectacular stuff, and yeah, amazing play by Nihal. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with such amazing games, so stay tuned to the channel and stay updated, and I'll be seeing you guys very soon. Thank you very much for watching.